This conference will now be recorded.
I think even Vijay is joining. Just okay. Vijay, can you hear us? Okay. Vulnerability plays a very important role, especially for the freshers. If they are joining a company, 70% of the work is actually on building up vulnerability report and then passing on to developers for the problem to fix. But we should have done this long time back, this particular topic. But I think because of the rescheduled here and there, we little bit dragged it. This is a crucial phase, almost a final verdict whether the target system is hackable or not. The last phase of information gathering. Here, we depend on active and passive method to find the loopholes. It is a compulsory as a part of vulnerability assessment and part of penetration testing. Till now, we have seen how to grab details like IP address, services, OS, software, which ports are open. Now let us check which of these are vulnerable on those identification which we have already did. If we find the services as vulnerable, there is something called remote code execution through which we can gain access. To do this, we have to do first vulnerability analysis. Very important from an organization point of view. Without vulnerable information, it is not possible to apply right patches for softwares or services. Vulnerability represents what? Weakness. Weakness in software, which are installed in hard drive in our operating system, which will help the hacker to compromise the target device. That is called as vulnerability. So what is, if you put it in a definition form, what exactly is a vulnerability? You can see the slide over here. It is a weakness in any programming code or software application. One second, I'm getting a phone call. Okay. It's a weakness in any programming code or software application which helps hacker to hang or crash the target application. So we'll reach almost to the final stage where we will almost start gaining access of the target computer. That's what we're going to do in vulnerability. So what is the objective behind it? We identify the vulnerabilities ranging from critical design flaws to simple misconfiguration. Document those vulnerabilities so that the developers and network administrators can easily identify and reproduce the findings. Create a guidance to assist the network administrator developer with remediating the identified vulnerability. So as a cybersecurity, your job is to find that vulnerability and then pass it on to the developers or a network administrator. At first, vulnerability analysis helps to understand the current state of our network. In any organization, there will be a tough fight between network and security people because from network admin point of view, there are certain services they want to enable, but from a security point of view, they will not be able to do. So it is a responsibility of a security engineer to let people who are working in organization to tell which is okay and which is not okay from a security point of view. No matter how much of network defense you apply, how much you spend money on security infrastructure, if you're not going to train your employees on which things to do or not to do, it's going to be an entry point for the hackers. So very important to know about vulnerability analysis. Well, there are types of vulnerabilities. Please note down. It's slightly going to be a little theory, but concepts are very, 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 very important. I go in detail because I can say this is the core of cyber ethical hacking. And any ethical hacking or any other hacking course all depends upon this types of vulnerabilities, because if you do not have vulnerability you cannot hack a system. Only if there is a vulnerability. So how do you identify that vulnerability? What is the process of finding the vulnerability? What are the types? What are the assessment? What are the codings? All that you're going to learn today. So this is like ABC of ethical hacking. So it might look theory, but please focus, concentrate, get the right picture what I'm explaining it to you. What are types of vulnerabilities? As you see here, misconfiguration. What is misconfiguration? Sample files are after installation of OS for software. Some settings you're not changing. You're keeping a weak settings. This is called misconfiguration, because of which hacker will be able to see the files which are not authorized to see. It can happen in the companies. Second could be default installation. Along with software installation comes with default files which will expose the software version. Maybe the software comes with default password or maybe empty password. User not changing the default password to customize password for security purpose. This could be a reason for the system to get hacked. See, we buy a lot of things online, softwares and all that. Many times it is a default password. We may not change at all. We'll keep it as it is. Have you ever done that? Or have you seen anyone not even changing the default password and keeping it just the same? Lot of people do, and that is a vulnerable. I'll show you one of the example for poor configuration under default password. Go to this particular website, INSCCAM. I go to Google. You'll be surprised. INSCCAM. These are all insecure camera, means or lot of things which are vulnerable is been uploaded on this internet. I go to country. Of course, I would go to India. Let me go to cities like Hyderabad. I've just taken, I can even take Bangalore. I will select this. Okay, these are all cameras which is published. Telangana IP address, everything is there, which is no way those people don't know, but it is exposed over here. See, their offices are exposed because their CCTV is not properly configured. Poor configuration by the CCTV provider is able to get us their camera. Can you believe that? You can check it out. So many videos are there. So this Panasonic HD camera India. Click on it. Now they're asking for username and password. What can you think the password will be? Okay, let us see. Actually, I've already tried. Username is admin, password is actually empty password. Now when I click on login, see what happens. I'm into the CCTV. Channel 1, 2, 3, I can have all the snapshots. Okay, and I open this, you will see the screenshot of their office. See, this is from their exit point of view. I go for another screenshot, open it. So somewhere there, terrace. Poor configuration and default password can cause a lot of things. And if a hacker is looking at it, there's a chance there's a chance that it can be hacked in many cases. And what if this is a bank? What if this is an ATM? Right? There are chances of it. So these are some of the examples of vulnerabilities you can think of it. So that is misconfiguration, default installation. Then there is something called memory overflow. What is memory overflow? It's also buffer flow. It is vulnerability in a software where hacker is overloading the memory with software with n number of characters, random characters. They see that how the reaction of extra content we are delivering, whether our RAM will process or not. If the RAM is not able to tolerate the overload data, if no security return to stop the overflow, then it leads to the crash of the system. Have you observed exactly in denial of service we saw on website? What website was that? There was no rule written to stop accepting overload packets. What happened? We brought that website down. It is nothing but a DOS attack. So that also can be a vulnerability. Then you have unpatched server. Let's say in the market we have Windows Server 2012, 16, 2009, 2008. Some companies still use old version like 2008 because of the cost. They're cheaper comparing to the newer version. So when they have purchased it and getting updates, but system admin might not go for update because there could be two reasons. First reason might be due to ignorance of the system. Second could be delaying the updates. So maybe once in a month or quarterly, but hacker will be trying to enter your system 24/7. They always look for opportunity. When there's an update, we have to go for it immediately, but do not delay. But it is not possible from a corporate point of view. That is where the vulnerability comes into picture. You'll be surprised. A lot of people are using still the old version, Windows 2007, Excel version. Check yourself what version of Excel you're using. You'll be surprised to see a lot of people are still using 2007 version, where 2019 is the latest version is there. So that could be a vulnerability. Then you have design flaws. It's also called architecture flaws. Poorly designed, bad programming, password being exposed. While a programmer is developing a software, they forgot to write an instruction. If anyone wants to manipulate the architecture style, they should not accept it. So whenever the hacker is trying to do a reverse engineering of architecture, they will be able to find flaw. Hackers will be able to test in the place, like for example, if no means yes, yes means no, just that we saw an SQL injection. Maybe I can run an application without license key. Maybe in that area I can add virus in that place, which you saw malware attack. This mainly happens due to a software architecture flaws. So I hope the previous topics all coming into picture, why these websites, apps, applications are all having vulnerabilities. All could be these reasons. Then you have OS flaw. Okay, what is OS flaw? Operating system flaw. Same thing. If they're using Ubuntu, for example, 16.04 or 18.1, but in the official website there might be 20.01, which is faster and better with better graphics, lighter versions, which might need less RAM, consist of all patches which may not present for the older version. But if the company is still using the old version, what happens? Vulnerability exists, makes the hacker to hack it. Then you have application flaws. It's a neutral word, can be a software application, web application, cloud application, mobile application. While writing the code, there might be error in the code. Sometimes you will be able to execute the code even if there is an error, but still you're able to execute, compile the software, that error will become a reason. That error is enough for the hacker to find the weakness in the code. All right. Then you have open services. We have seen in Metasploitable machine, if the ports are open, hacker will be able to find what operating system, software version, IP, that gives an opportunity for the hacker to find the vulnerabilities. Suppose if the vulnerability is not discovered, at least hacker will know what ports are open, what is filtered, which one is closed. Maybe he'll try to do crack password. Maybe he will do brute force like Hydra, Medusa. Remember? Then the last one is default password. Same username, password, reverse username, null password. They're all one of the reasons why people can hack their passwords. Now, these are all different types of vulnerabilities. As a hacker, you should be knowing, my friends. Are you understanding, or is it too much? I'm just going on explaining. You want me to slow down, or did you understand what I'm explaining? So you have to do vulnerability research, the process of discovering vulnerabilities and design flaw that will open an operating system and its application for an attack or a misuse. An administrator needs vulnerability research to gather information about threats, attacks, security trends. To find weakness, alert the network administrator. To get information that helps to prevent the security problems. To know how to recover from a network attack. So all these things is a must when he is going to create a vulnerability analysis. Okay, this is extremely important. In every cyber security company will definitely have this. What can they misuse? Like maybe they can steal credit card details, personal information, scan copies of your Aadhaar card, driving license. If it's a company system, they might steal coding, project, tender, can cause problems. Vulnerability is classified based on criticality level, how severe it is, how easy the weapons are available in the internet. So research is nothing but it is a passive method. We will depend on some websites, we'll query those websites for a particular OS or a particular software. Do you have any critical weakness information? Does it need anybody to be reported? If it is, then show the results. So that is all what we do in vulnerability research, friends. So we create a research report, okay, and then we find out if there's any threats, attacks, we find any weakness, we inform the security problem about this, and we'll also see how to recover from any attack that is happening. So all this part of the vulnerability research. You can also check, like there is something, I'll show you how to do a research. First, what I will do is I will open up my Metasploitable machine. Assume that I need to build up a vulnerability report on a Metasploitable machine. First, let me do a software version scan. Understand if there is any weakness in those softwares which is used by the Metasploitable machine. Right. So for that, I'm opening a dummy machine. So I'll show you where all the scripts are available. And once we find out where to which website to go and extract data, and when you go to that website, what information you will get, where to see that information, what is the coding behind it or terminology behind it. So all those things which I will show you today, because by end of this class, you should know how to create a vulnerability report, what to read, types of reports, as how do you interpret, which websites to go. So all those things you should be aware by end of this class. So don't miss this class. It's a theoretical, but focus, extremely important. A lot of questions of interviews will come from this topic. So MSF admin, MSF admin. I just want to check the IF config 3.186. I'll go here. I will scan this. Nmap. When I do this, I'm sure you would be remembering the port scanning topic where we have done SS means stealth scan, SV means software version scan. What am I trying to do? I want to know which all ports are open and each port is performing what. Now, for example, this is a ports are there as you see on the screenshot. This open SSH 4.7 P1. I performed a stealth scan as you see on the screen. Here we have to discover how many softwares. For example, if I want to hack the machine, I want to think like a hacker. Let's say I'm unable to hack the username and password of a secure shell. Another way is to find out the vulnerability of the software under what version. Copy this version, name the copy the version name with software name and visit certain websites, which I'm going to show you. What I'll do, I'll go here, copy this software. I want to check if this particular software version, is it an old version, outdated version, or is there any vulnerability through this software? Can I be able to enter into this Metasploitable machine? Because I could not, I failed to find the username and password. So what I have to do, let me check if there is any weakness in this software. I copy this. There are so many vulnerability websites, my friends. One of the very popular website is CVE. CVEdetails.com. Go to that particular topic. Paste that software. Control V and enter. These are all security vulnerabilities found in this software version. See, this is like google.com. Like youtube.com has all the videos uploaded. Google.com has all the websites. CV Details is one of the websites which all the vulnerabilities in the world has been uploaded over here. So I can go for any one of it. I click here. It tells me could not find any. Okay, no problem. I'll open one more. There you go. It tells me in 2008 there was one vulnerability on this 4.7. 2010 one. Nothing. Okay, vulnerabilities by the year. Vulnerabilities what type? One vulnerability is to gain information. One was to bypass the information. So that's how I get to know the details about it. So that is one. If I just go with some other time, yeah, I go one of it. Error handling in SSH protocol. Okay, so many information a technical guy will know. There is a considerable information disclosure. There is no impact on the system, but because of the vulnerability in this software, some information can be disclosed. This is what information you will get under CVE details. Okay, so I've given you the screenshot. Okay, now what is CVE? Here, common vulnerability and exposures. Okay, so note down this. What is it called as? CVE means common vulnerability and exposures. If you are concentrating only to hack only Windows, okay, so just type Windows 10 over here. So I go to this particular website. If I want to hack Windows 10, so obviously I'll find Windows 10, right? Let me go, close this, close this, close this. Type over here Windows 10 or maybe Windows 7. You have so many security vulnerabilities. Click on it. Could not find any vulnerabilities. Okay. Go for the next one. There you go. So many other. Click on it. There you go. Click on it. Ooh, yo. 2009, 2010. How many vulnerabilities are there? One, you had a DOS attack. You had some overflow, memory overflow. Somebody has done SQL injection, right? Somebody has done bypass. Somebody has done gain information. Somebody has gained privileges. See, each year wise, how much vulnerabilities has happened per year and what all the different types of attacks that has happened. And usually attack happened in the year 2009 to 21. See, complete vulnerability of that Windows 7, you have information over here. So that is what called CVE details. You don't get in Google. These are the sites which will give you information about it. Okay. These are the certain vulnerability sites. cvdetails.com, nvdnist.com, packetstorm security, securityfocus.com, us cert, certin. So many different types of websites are available for you to collect information. Okay. Then you need to know something called vulnerability assessment. Now before I go ahead, until here is it clear what all I have explained to you? Type yes. Fantastic. Now what is vulnerability assessment? It's an examination of ability of a system or application, including current security procedure and control to withstand the attack. Vulnerability assessment or analysis recognizes, measures, classifies security vulnerability in a computer system, network, communication channel. Okay, don't get scared with so much of a high-end definition. What do you mean by communication? Communication channels means Bluetooth, wireless, telephone, like that. Any communication between them, finding out flaws is called as VA, that is vulnerability assessment. VA tells us which area has more vulnerability, in which we need to focus, which we did not do last year, where hacker can come inside and steal the information, because of which the company will have a huge financial loss. VA can help you to answer how to avoid threats, where are vulnerable available, what type of software required for protection, like that. So there are different types of vulnerability assessment available. Let us see what it is. These are it. Types of vulnerability assessment: active assessment, passive, external, internal, host based, network, application, and thing. Okay, so not just about finding the problem, you need to assess it. What is host based? Let's say in a company there are 300 host based, okay, 300 computers. In every PC individually you will install vulnerability scanner that will scan the entire hardware, software, scans all files, firmware, drivers, will check if there are any flaws. It is like the entire system health checkup. That is host based. What is active based? Means footprinting. Online you're performing port scanning, network scanning, enumeration, social engineering. What is passive assessment? Google Docs, employee details, sniffing if any communication using non-SSL. If you're using HTTP or HTTPS, if the company using HTTPS, then the packets cannot be decrypted. But if you're using HTTP, the hackers can sniff those packages and can reveal your password. So you can also listen to phone call conversation if you're doing through voice over internet protocol. So these are the things where you will assess passively. Then you have external assessment. What is external assessment? You will do security testing on firewalls, web servers, database, mail exchange, employee background. Those are all external assessment. Then you have internal assessment. What you will do, you will scan related to your IP address, port, network, vulnerability scanning of private IP, which are assigned by routers. Then you have host based, which I have explained to you. Then you will have network assessment. What you will do in network, any kind of firewall, antivirus, which are running in the network. For network defense, we have to see if they're vulnerable or not. Then you have application assessment, means websites, mobile, cloud, source code, every line of the code we have to test. Then you have wireless assessment, test the security level of Wi-Fi, wireless LAN, security of Bluetooth, infrared application. These are all work you have to do of a cyber security guide. So now you know how to keep your company safe by assessing all this. Now you know what work you will do in cybersecurity. All this assessment you have to do, create a report and submit to the right people in the organization. So these are all nothing but assessments you have to do. Is this clear? How to scan any vulnerability? This is the syntax. Nmap, just I want to select port number 21, stealth scan, software version. This is the syntax, my friends. Dash dash script one and the IP address. Okay, and save it in a file, which I don't need it. So I'll just copy this. just the port number 21. Go here, file, new tab, Control Shift V, but the IP address of the Metasploitable is 3.186 and enter. This script one is there, right? It will give me the vulnerability script. So what is vulnerability script? I'll show you the definition. Vulnerability scanning is the inspection of potential points of exploit on computer or network to identify security holes. The software compares details about target attack surface to database. No need, just see that. Just to check, identify security holes. And that is what I have done. Okay, I have just scanned my Metasploitable. I am asking for a script one. So it's taking little time to extract. 1 second, I'm getting a call. Okay, sorry. Are you guys there? Just type one. Are you guys there? Okay, okay. So if you see here, this is a script, vulnerability script. It says it is not vulnerable. Okay, but in some cases it will say it is vulnerable. See, it says this port number 21, it says it is vulnerable and it is exploitable. Everything is mentioned here. So there's a script which talks about it if you're looking to extract vulnerability script. But what is it you have to understand is there is something called as CVSS range. Common vulnerability system score. And this is very important in the interview also they can ask. If this scoring is 0, means it's okay. No issue at all. Alright, it's just for information's sake. It usually represents in blue in color. But if it, and low will come under 0.1 to 3.9. Orange color it usually represents. From where we have to worry means 100% vulnerable. They have discovered a flaw, but there is no hacker tool. So hacker needs to create a hacking tools to penetrate. Scanner tells there is no hacking tool so far, but fix it before anybody creates. But it's not a immediate threat. Then you have 4 to 6.9. Usually represents yellow in color. Software version, weak password, maybe no directories, default password, extra information exposed, which have captured during the footprinting, which is not a big threat, but we can fix it later. But the danger level starts in the 7 and 8.9, which is a light red in color. 100% vulnerable, hackable, 100% tools are available in the internet. So no, don't delay it, fix it immediately, but you are still in big danger. Then you have 9 to 10 critical, dark red in color, 100% vulnerable, hackable, tools are easily available. You're using some outdated software, fix right now, immediately. So that is the coding. Where will this coding will be there? I will show you. When I clicked on Windows 7, do you observe here score 4.3, 1.9, right? 4.7. So this is a scoring given by the industries to understand if the threat is immediate or not. And every threat is represented by this number CVE. I'll copy this. What is this? It is called as common vulnerability exposure. Which year? In the year 2017, and the exposure ID is 11927. This is what is called as CV, and along with it, it will SS score. So as a hacker, you should be able to understand what is all this. So when I go here, it says ID, then number of exploits 200, vulnerability types, information gathering, which date was it published? 2017. This is nothing but also the latest update has happened, and so on. Say this is the scoring for it. Complexity is just a medium, remote access, everything, configuration partial. So this, when you get to it, now you should be able to understand it. So when I click on this particular number, what is it? Is this clear? How do you read it? So next, you also get to see that in your vulnerability scanning. If you observe port number 21, it says vulnerable. Look at it, they have also given CVE, means 2001 2523. I copy this and I open up and search for this and enter. Yeah. What is a CVSS score? 10. What does it mean? Dark red in color, very critical, easily vulnerable, easily hackable. Tools are there to get into it. That's what it says. This is what a research, scanning, assessment all is considered. Okay, so I've given you a screenshot properly. Error is DOS attack, CVSS code, in which software, which operating system, full details you will get, complete details. So as a hacker, you should be able to find out. Is this clear? Until here, type yes. I'm been asking regularly because it's slightly theoretical. I want to know whether you have stayed along with me, got idea of what it is. Very good. Next, I'm going to show you, you can only generate a report. On that report is an automatic scanner. It will scan everything, particular and tell you whether this particular website or a machine has any vulnerabilities or not. That one of the tool which is I'm going to show you is called as Nessus. It's a remote security scanning tool which scans a computer and raises an alert if it discovers any vulnerabilities that malicious hacker could use to gain access to any computer you have connected to the network. How do you Okay. All the automatic scanner are related to network. They're actually used in companies during internal and external vulnerable or penetration testing. Automatic scanners make our work easier. All scripts will be present in the scanner. This automatic scanner is very powerful. They can do network scan, software version, port scan, enumeration, also have their inbuilt Hydra. It will contain its own word list. In the end, when the entire scanning is finished on multiple IPs or dedicated IP, it will ask you the type of report you want to create. Commercial network scanner is very expensive. The basic version will be 2 lakhs. Report report template, few options and scanning will not be available in the free version. But what we are going to see is the free version. I'll show you the step one by one. I want okay. What I have to do is go here, Google, type Nessus, download. Please follow the steps. Note down in a book and a pen. The first one, download space Nessus Tenable. Click on it. You get to see varieties of software Nessus scans to be done. But what is that help your Kali Linux is, I have sent a screenshot over here. This one, Nessus 8.1, 8.15.1, Debian 6. Okay, so they'll have a Debian. So you have to go that one. So carefully check where it is. This one, right? 9.1 Kali Linux 1819 AMD 64. This one. Is this the same one? Yeah, the same thing. Click on it. Click save file. Download it. Go to your root. First, I'll exit this. Clear everything. CD downloads. We got it here. Email ID. The fake email ID is called Mailinator. So go there. Here, right? Mailinator. You don't have to register, login, anything. You can just create one fake email ID. Just download the exam paper copy. Just one. What you have to do, enter a public Mailinator inbox. Just create whatever ID you want. Now, for example, I will put Vijay 7070. That's all. And enter. That's all. Email is created. Vijay 7070. So I have created one fake email ID, which is called as Vijay 7070 at the rate of mailinator.com. Why I created a fake email ID is you will get a code to this email ID for Nessus registration. So that is why I've just created a fake email ID. Now what I have to do is go back here, because when I scroll up, see it will say get activation code. Where when I click on get activation code, I have to put this particular email ID where the code will go over here. Okay, so first I've created it. Everything is here. After creating an account in Mailinator, go to download of Nessus, click on activation code. Okay. So we'll go here, click on get activation code. Click here. It'll ask you Nessus Professional, Nessus Essential. You have to go for Nessus Essential. Okay, click on register now. It'll ask you the first name, last name. Okay, so I'll just put Vijay through. Okay, and I will put Vijay 7070 at the rate of Galinator.com and click on get started. And then if I open up my Mailinator, you will have here. See, Tenable Nessus Essential Activation Code. When I click here, I will get to see the code. Scroll down. This is a code. I'll show you where to put this thing after some time. Next, I got the activation code. Every screenshot I have. After that, you have to click on download Nessus. Okay, I have to click on the option. They have sent the activation code. Click on download. So what I have to do? Go here. You have an option over here. Download Nessus. Click on download. Then okay. Go to Kali Linux. You unzip that is dpkg. So go here. It's already there. So what I have to do? dpkg capital N tab. Minus area. I'm unzipping it, all the folders. Go through the recordings again. It might be confusing a little bit. Go through my recordings one by one. You do it. And if you have to start the Nessus, I'll show you once it gets unzipped. Okay, you can start Nessus scanner. So for that, I have to type cd, go back out of test or downloads, then Nessus. Sorry, service. Type service Nessus start. Okay, I think I have to go for CD downloads only. Failed to start. I don't know why it should have started. Okay, no problem. You have to type the localhost 127.0.0.1 for :8834. So over here 127.8834. Enter. Okay, others I'll copy this. Unable to connect. No internet or something. What happened? It's 2070.01. Okay. I'll check, guys. Something has gone wrong. So I will be able to. Can we have class tomorrow? Guys, are you able to hear me? Okay, some issue with my internet is not able to open. Can we open tomorrow 12:30?